Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carry and Cut YouTube channel. If you're new here, I sure do appreciate you stopping by and watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also check out our Instagram at Carry and Cut and our Patreon at Carry and Cut. Also, all the proceeds from the Patreon are going to go directly back into the channel to buy new knives and new equipment for the channel, and hopefully make the quality of the content better for you guys. And also, 1,000 subscriber giveaway knife. Don't want to keep beating this down your guys' throats, but this is definitely going to be awesome, and I cannot wait to give this out to you guys. And of course, can't wait for the 1,000 subscribers also, so that'll definitely be very cool. So, you know, we're having pretty good growth, and I'm definitely excited to be able to do more stuff like this for you guys, because, you know, my viewers definitely are important to me, and subscribers are too. So, you know, this is definitely out to you guys. Wouldn't be able to do this without you, and wouldn't be able to do this video without Jimmie Crowe. So another huge shout out to Jimmie Crowe. This is another one of his knives that he sent to me to do a review for you guys. So this is definitely pretty cool. Been carrying this for a couple days, and I'm pretty impressed with this one. It's definitely a pretty classy knife. So let's go and get right into it. This is the Civivi hadros. This is the first time that I have actually ever seen this knife, and when I opened the package up when Jimmie sent this to me, I was, you know, pretty blown away. Really, you know, striking appearance on this. I really can't get over how thin. And, you know, not like dimension-wise, like thickness, but how, you know, small in footprint that this knife is, especially the handle. I mean, it is just tiny. Look at that in your hand. You know, it is just melting away. There really is nothing there. All you really feel is the clip on the back side of your hand, which is pretty crazy. And I can still get a 4-finger grip on this one too. So that's definitely pretty cool. Still, you know, I wouldn't say a crazy full-size knife, but it's not a small knife by any stretch of the imagination also. So what are we looking at here? We have brown micarta for the handles. We are looking at a 10 CR 15 MOV steel blade, and that's at 59 to 61 HRC on the hardness. And Civivi normally does a pretty good job on all their steels, so I never, you know, noticed any sort of anything lacking. Of course, 10 CR is not going to be the best thing in the world. No one ever said it was, but it's definitely going to get the job done. We have a really nice deep hollow grind on this one too to keep this thing nice and slicey. Of course, we have a nice Warncliffe style blade on this one, and it is definitely pokey. I mean, check out the tip. Look how cute that tip gets on there. You can barely even see it on the camera, but it gets extremely thin down here at the tip. So this is going to be one that could definitely bust off on you if you are not careful. Heck, sharpen this thing the wrong way, and your tip will be completely gone. So, of course, nobody wants to see that, but it's definitely something to keep in mind if you're going to be looking at this knife. And unfortunately, this knife, I could not find it in stock anywhere, so I'm pretty sure it is discontinued. You might be able to find it on the secondary market, like on eBay or anything like that, but that's a whole other can of worms. You know, buyers beware on eBay. I don't really think anybody's going to make any clones of this thing, but, you know, it is definitely pretty cool. So I think of this as kind of like a gentleman's carry, I guess you could say. You know, it's really not very flashy, and especially with the deep carry clip, it's definitely going to be able to be nice and concealable, but you're not going to be seeing much of it in the pocket anyway. So definitely cool. Small footprint, you know, awesome liner lock deployment. Well, liner lock thumb stud deployment. That is the only means of deploying this knife, is the thumb studs, and of course, you know, that's fine. The action's pretty good. You know, it's not a false shut, nothing like that. You know, you kind of have to help it along, but that is no problem at all for what this is. This isn't supposed to be a fidget friendly, you know, crazy thing. It still is fidget friendly, but, you know, the D10 is nice and stiff on it, and it's kind of like that hydraulic action, I guess you could say. You know, it's not falling shut on you, but it's still pretty good. Access to the lock bar is not the best thing in the world. You can definitely get it, but you have to definitely have to put some effort into it, and get your thumb nice and chapped up, I guess you could say. But the liner lock deployment, why do I keep saying that? Thumb stud deployment works very well. So D10 is tuned very well on this thing, flies right out at you. I really do like the oversized pivots too. So this gives us a nice flare. Normally the Civivi logo is a lot smaller on these pivots. And talking about hardware, we got T8 screws all the way around. T8 in the pivot, T8 in the body, T6 in the pod clip though, so that's the only bad thing. But we do have a nice bent over steel deep carry pod clip with flush mounted screws. Really do like seeing that. And of course, this is tip up left or right hand carry. We have skeletonized liners in there too, and our standoffs, open construction, of course. But so this is definitely pretty cool. And this knife was, I think it was around $70 when they were making it. And so, you know, the price point is pretty good. Of course, there's cheaper stuff out there. There's definitely be more expensive stuff out there. But for the most part, this thing is pretty cool. And if you can find one, I would definitely, you know, get it for, you know, light use. If you're just opening packages, letters, or just carrying it around. Of course, you're not going to want to go do no prying, chopping, anything crazy like that with this thing. But just for an everyday slicer, this thing is sweet. You know, I could really tear up an apple with this thing. I guarantee you that. So, heck, you could probably even cut your steak up with it, whatever you gotta do. Or if you do some self-defense kind of stuff, this thing would not, you would not want to be on the other end of this. I guarantee you that. So, of course, your Warncliffe blade shape, that's just going to be super versatile for an everyday carry. For the user's sake, this thing is going to be awesome to cut with, and definitely pretty good. So this knife has definitely been well received by me, and I've definitely had a lot of comments on it. It definitely gets people's attention, that's for sure, when you pop this thing out and they want to know the story on this thing or where they can get one. So definitely an eye-opener. I didn't know Civivi was doing really anything like this. I like the thin gentleman's carry, but not have a big footprint. So of course that's what gentleman's carry is all about. They don't want them to be real loud and obnoxious, and this thing really isn't either. But it's a gentleman's carry that has a little more flair, I guess you could say. So pretty cool. So let's go ahead and get some size. Let's do some measurements, if you will. How about that? So we're looking at 7.5 inches from tip to butt there. Pretty good size. Our blade is almost 3.5 inches, just a little shy of 3.5. Sharpened edge is almost 3.25, so not too bad. Nice blade shape. Blade to handle ratio is pretty much right on the money right there. Right where I like to see it, in my personal opinion. I like that. Let's go get a weight on this thing. Of course, we got the real one here. Mrs. Carry and Cut's kitchen scale. Got it zeroed out. 2.5 ounces. Now this is definitely a pretty light knife for what we're working with. The last one we were looking at was the CJRB Echo, and it was 3.5 ounces for pretty much the same overall size. So pretty cool. And while we're talking about that, let's do some size comparisons up against the CJRB Echo. And like I said, we're pretty much right there on the same size, handle, blade ratio, ballpark, but we're a whole ounce lighter. So definitely pretty cool to see on that one. Let's get out the QSP Penguin. We're right there, pretty similar, maybe a little bit smaller on the Penguin. And how about the Spyderco Delica 4? This is becoming one of my favorite knives. Really do love the Delica. So review coming on that one here before too long also. So it's a little bit bigger than Delica if you guys are used to that one. So overall, I think this knife is definitely a win. This is pretty cool. Glad to see Civivi I guess you can't say doing stuff like this, but actually did stuff like this. It's kind of a shame to see that it's discontinued. Maybe a lot of people didn't buy it, and I guess I could see that. It's definitely not everybody's cup of tea, but it is pretty cool. I wouldn't use it all the time. It's definitely something cool to have. You could definitely match an outfit with this one, or just something classy you want to dress up with. Definitely pretty cool. So, all right, guys, if you have any comments or questions, leave them down in the comment section below. Definitely get back with you. And until next time,